Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to your brothers that are laboring and pushing this word in truth and sincerity and with charity. I'm the brother Abraham from the camp here in GMS Chicago, coming to do another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit. Lord willing, that be edifying. And after watching so many brothers do responses to the Elder Tahar's video, which was called "How Do You Know You Got It?" Right, and it's speaking about the MOTB, right, the mark in Revelation 13, verse 16, and he was doing commentary on another video from Sons of Thunder, which they were breaking it down as a spiritual thing, right? A spiritual thing that it's wickedness that's in your mind, and your right hand is what's performing it, which they also try to tie it in with the mark in Ezekiel 9, all right, which is a completely different mark. Okay, and this is where, in an instance just as this one, where you see the word mark in Revelation 13 and the word mark in Ezekiel 9, this is a perfect example in an instance where it's necessary and important to go into words, all right, go into the Strong's definition. Okay, so when you read Revelation 13 verse 16, it says, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And it says he causes all, right? The little guy, the big guy, the free, the bond, everybody's going to have to receive this mark, all right? And verse 17 says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So in order to buy or sell, you will need to have this mark. And it doesn't make any sense if it's sin or wickedness, because that would mean you would need to sin and commit wickedness to buy or sell, to go into the store and buy or sell. All right, which the scriptures plainly say that we've all sinned and fall short of the glory of the promises of the Most High. So that would mean that we all have the mark of the beast. That would mean that when what they're breaking it down is sin and wickedness, which we all have, we wouldn't buy or sell if we didn't have sin or wickedness, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because this is a future prophecy, and we've already sinned and committed wickedness. Okay, so let's go ahead to that word mark, right? That word mark. And it's the Greek word charagma. It's a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist or anti-Messiah. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. All right, so that kind of already cuts their doctrine, all by simply looking up a simple word, right? But you go to the Greek word, to the root word, Salakio. It's the Greek word karax. It says karaso, to sharpen, to a point, akin through the idea of scratching a pale or stake or palisade, a palisade or rampart, pales between which earth, stones, trees, timbers are heaped and packed together, right? A pale. You can do a word search on that. A pale. Let's go to images. See what it gives us. Doesn't really give you too much, so we'll do is I'm gonna highlight all of this here: pale or stake or palisade. And we'll go to images, and this is just an example, right? It would be one of these pieces of wood, right? But the end of that piece of wood would have to be carved into a point in order for it to pierce the ground. Okay. So let's see if they give us a better image for it. Let me just do this. I guess there's a car called a Palisade, and now it's just giving you images for a Palisade. Oh my god. Here. Wooden. There we go. So yeah, and then you will use these palisades to create a fence. And look at this. Right? That's a palisade. A pale or a stake. Okay? Now, something would have to pierce through the skin in order for you to receive this mark. Okay? So it's something physical. It's not something spiritual. Right? Now, you go to the root word of karax, and you have the Greek word grapho, which means to write with the reference of the form of letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. Right? Pretty much to write. What do you use to write? A pen, pencil, marker, whatever. But we already know that they're gonna use something like a pale or stake or palisade type of thing, right? Or in the instance of the mark of the beast, it's gonna use a medical instrument, right? A medical instrument in order to do that, right? So let's go to Isaiah 36 and verse 6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." And we already know America is modern day Egypt, right? Revelations 11 and 8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt," which is America. You can't tell me that this place is not spiritually Sodom and spiritually Egypt. This is a place of our captivity, which was known as the captivity for the Israelites in the ancient world. Sodom was known for its sodomy, homosexuality, and all abominations that you see America promote and is in the vibration of today. Okay? Now, let's go to the etymology online dictionary, which means the study of truth, because it breaks down the word to the least common denominator. Right. So let me cannula. That's what I was gonna look up. Cannula. Right. Tubular surgical instrument inserted in the body to drain fluid. From Latin cannula, small reed or pipe. Right. So it's a reed or pipe, cane. And then even the Apostle Gabar brought out in his lesson a what also looks like a damn, I forgot what the name of it was. A syringe. There you go. How it looks like a pale steak or palisade, and it does. When you think about it, yeah, it does. Okay, which one of these medical instruments is called a reed, or another word for it for the cannula is a reed, right? Which it will go into the right hand or the forehead. Why the right hand or the forehead? When you watch the video on YouTube, it's somewhere on YouTube. I forgot what the video was called, but the creator of the microchip to be implanted in the body broke it down that these two areas are the warmest parts in the body. So they needed to create a battery, some sort of lithium battery that would constantly keep it from dying. So it needed to find the two most or the most highest temperatures in the body, which he broke it down. Most people are right-handed, right? That's why it's in the right hand, in the forehead. When you have a fever, when you get sick, right? They check your forehead. They check your temperature, right? So he broke it down that this is why they chose to put it in the right hand or in the forehead. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can look up that video, and I'm gonna repost that video because it's a heavy video. Okay, and it breaks down literally how they came to making that microchip. Okay, but now let's go ahead to Ezekiel 9 to show that this, yes, is this in this instant, in this exact specific scripture, Ezekiel 9:4, is a spiritual mark. Okay, and the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So yeah, this is gonna be in the end time. When the destruction happens here in America, his elect will be delivered because they're gonna have this mark, right? But it's not a mark as in charagma or corax or grapho as is in Revelation 13 verse 16, right? When you go to this word mark in Ezekiel 9:4, it's the Greek, not the Greek word, the Hebrew word thawa, which means mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. Okay. Right? So there, it's a seal of the elect, right? Revelation 7:1, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And this is that mark, the wa, that exemption from judgment, right? And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And it goes on to name you all the 12 tribes, and the number of them, which was 12,000, and then the great multitude, which is the scattered elect or scattered Israelites that was mixed amongst the other nations, peoples, and tongues, because that's where we were scattered to as a curse, right? So yeah, it's these elect men that have the spiritual mark that's different from the charagma or charax or grapho mark, which is a physical mark, right? So it's plain and simple, man. It's plain and simple. So let me go ahead and end it off with this, because at this point it's we're only speaking to the elect, man. Proverbs 8 and 9, they are all plain to him that hath understanding, and right to them that find knowledge. So these things, these scriptures will be plain to them that have the understanding, the unction from the Holy One to understand all things. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Lord willing, this video was edifying, and as always, all honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.